Okay, we are here. Good morning and G microchains, everybody. How do you like our intro video? We're excited to be here for the next, the second developer workshop. And let me bring in our co-hosts for the day. Hey, James, how you doing? How you feeling, G microchains?
Hey, I'm good. It's warm here. Nice time.
Nice warm in London today.
Yeah, it happens once or twice a year.
Wonderful. And Matthew, how did you like the intro song? How you feeling?
Hello. I felt the guy didn't have a lot of muscles compared to me. Obviously.
Oh, that's probably true. That's definitely true. I
No,
believe
it's
you
not
in that.
that. It's still fun.
Very cool. Well, we're excited to have a conversation today about a bunch of things. But before we get into it, I just wanted to remind everybody about our developer challenge. This is the Games on Microchains challenge, where we are inviting all builders to create a game that will be used on our testnet. This game, if you build a game and it kind of gets selected, one of the top 5, then we will all play it as part of a Friday Games on Microchains tournament, and you will earn 50,000 XP on Discord. You will be considered for future grant opportunities. You'll get the builder role. So all these really cool things. What kind of games are we talking about? It really could be any kind of game. It could be a card game, a puzzle, strategy, a real-time multiplayer game, anything that's kind of built on microchains that takes advantage of real-time interactions, the low latency and high reactivity that is unique to Linera's architecture. So this is kind of what we're encouraging everybody to do, and we're here to help you along the way. The deadline is April 30th to be considered. All you got to do is drop a link to the GitHub open source repo and the URL to the playable front end of the game in Discord. There's a channel that is Games on Microchains channel in the dev forum on Discord or dev chat. And yeah, here are the resources. Both of the 2 incredible engineers who are here on the call today are judges. So if you're building something, tell us about it. Drop something in the chat about what it is that you're building. We want to know. And if you have questions, of course, we're here to help you as well. So that's the Games on Microchains Builder Challenge that we got going on. And all right, today, Matthew, what are we going to be talking about today for everybody who's here?
Yeah, so today I wanted to give an overview on our roadmap, our technical roadmap, how we're thinking about the different test nets. So we currently have a test net, and we have around like 20-25 validators, and we are about to release a new one, and that's super exciting. In particular, for those that were here last week, we have a new web client library that James was presenting that is really, really amazing, and is going to be integrating with the next version of the testnet, and that's definitely what people should use to build applications moving forward. And so I wanted to talk about it. So the testnet, the new testnet, is going to come any day now. And thanks for your patience. And I yeah. You're still here.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because you guys disappeared for a moment from my screen.
Oh, I just wanted to give you the full screen. I just wanted to give you the full screen treatment. But we are
cool,
still here.
All right. And what else can I say? We have a new developer manual design that I just tweeted about. It's the same website as before, Linera.dev. Check it out. It's beautiful. It's thanks for the team that also put the design together, including James and Walton. Yeah, so today, you guys, if you guys are into it, I was gonna go over the testnet, the roadmaps, the different features that we're planning to release. The timeline is usually something like, so this testnet came like 3 months after the first one, something like that. So we're hoping to have testnet number 3. The names of the testnets are also following the alphabet, in case people didn't notice. So the first one was Archimedes. The next one is going to be Babbage. And then the third one, something that start with C. And they are like usually scientists or even mathematicians, so far at least. So yeah, you can drop in the comments your favorite mathematicians starting with a C if you want.
We'll crowdsource the name for the third testnet.
We have some ideas. Okay, it's like we're so it's, and I'm really interested in hearing the comments from the community about our roadmap. If somebody wants, some people have ideas that they want to push or reactions, please drop a comment.
Yep. Also, as people are going, I just wanted to encourage everybody to not only you can participate on X or on YouTube by leaving a comment here if you have a question that's going on. And we are going to be using Discord. There is a developer workshop /AMA channel within DevChat or topic within DevChat. And if there's any code that we're sharing or any details, we'll use that to be able to share comments as well. So feel free to use that if you have questions or other comments that you want to share with the team or like more heavy text or something like that. So, all right, cool. Matthew, let's continue on the roadmap. Excited about that.
Today I successfully connected to the chat.
Nice.
So the trick is to use your personal YouTube account and not the company one.
Right.
Whoa, am I going to be successful sharing my screen? I guess this is the next step.
There, that's how you successfully
and
drop the comment. You are. Great. Let's let me hold on one second. And I can add you to the screen. Here we are. The roadmap.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is what we have released.
Can you zoom in a little bit further, Matthew?
Of course.
Thank you.
There are way more bullet points, but this is a summary. So we've been posting web demos for a while, running in the browser, but those are like just demos in this current testnet that we released a few months ago. This being said, we already have a number of really cool features, like the multi-user chains we're pretty proud of. You can do like an atomic swap. You can do a chess game on the temporary chain between two users. Those are already the features available on our first iteration of the testnet. And so like I said, what was missing is the web framework. And so maybe that's the reason why people are asking, how come you had a testnet? I didn't hear about it. Yeah, because we were like really strong on the application side. We had all the framework to develop Linera applications, but we were waiting for the web framework to actually develop the reactive applications on the website. Of course, there were some of our community members. They release a lot of applications running the chains not in the web client, running on the server side, which is also very very fine. But now we're going to be able to support the officially a client-side SDK. And so this is going to be Babbage. The next testnet I'm very excited to present today is going to include, and that we're going to release in just a few weeks or days or weeks. It's going to include the official web client framework. It's going to include Oracle queries. So we've announced a number of partnerships. This is a very important feature of Linera. From a Linera transaction, we can actually query the internet, like I like to say. So you can query data storage services. We just announced a partnership with Walrus, the DA layer, the data availability layer of the Sui blockchain. We are going to partner with them and be a data validation layer for them. And the way it works is that from within a Linera transaction, you can actually ask to download bytes coming from outside, and then you can apply some processing to them and verify some property. And so the next version of the testnet is going to officially support this kind of use cases that we've been pioneering and already announcing with some partners. So we're very excited to stabilize this feature. It's one of the flagship feature of the protocol, being able to query external web service, AI inference tiers, data storage tiers. It's really like one of the superpowers of the protocol that derives from microchains. The other superpower is the real-time notifications that we've been demonstrating in the web client last week. And maybe we'll do another demo at the end because it's so good. Yeah, it's also very nice to stabilize the two features. So the second feature, the Oracle queries. We also worked with the community and really appreciated the suggestion for proof of work public chains. And that is also included in the next testnet. So we're very excited to see this new concept working on the testnet. So yeah, people in the community have suggested that basically there could be a public chain, for instance, managing a meme coin, and people can come and use ideas of proof of work to create blocks in a way that is very cheap for the infrastructure and would actually generate rewards for the participants to the chain. So a really cool idea that is going to land with the next testnet. We also did some cleanups in the addresses, so people are rebasing their applications. They're going to see there are some simplifications in the account owner. This is part of an effort to generally be more compatible with EVM. And in the next version of the testnet, there's going to be multi-size addresses, and in general, we're going to be compatible with EVM signatures. So in this testnet, we already made the change to be compatible with the block headers, or to make our block headers compatible with EVM signatures, making them more bridge friendly, which I think is a really cool feature that will be super useful for future bridges and future integration with EVM chains. What else can I say? We improved the scalability of our configurations. What we call the admin chain is now much better, and we're excited to roll this out to allow essentially changing validator sets much more easily, and including when there are really a large number of chains out there that have already been created. One thing that we did also that I think our builders know and already appreciate is removing the operation request application. That was kind of a hack. It was kind of degrading the developer experience and in some cases the user experience. So we removed that, meaning that when you publish an application on any chain on Linera, it's becoming instantly usable in every other chain. So any user that or any user interface that has the proper application ID can already start creating a block and creating operations, start using the application, and the system will just figure out what to do automatically and the client will download the application. So it's a very nice piece of a very nice improvement that we did that is using the concept of blobs, and that we've been developing for quite some time, and it's now finally coming to fruition inside the protocol. So local blob storage also available for user applications. So the idea is that when you program your application in Linera, it's it's more interesting if you try to use all the user chains and maybe create some temporary chains. And now this question is how do you coordinate all the state of your applications that is distributed across all those chains? And there are different ways to do that. One is with asynchronous messages, so question messages. But another way also is by simply sharing data. And so we made available this primitive to share data across chain within the same application or across applications. It's a very powerful primitive that we've been using internally, and it's now available to users. The there will be more primitives available also as part of the available in that line of thinking for developers to coordinate their application and make them like truly multi-chain. And so okay, so I keep trying to scroll on the wrong screen, so that's why sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, so on the infrastructure side, we're also making progress with better management of the hotfixes, and yes, we do hotfix sometimes, yes, and multi-proxy supporting multiple instances of a proxy. So it's a preliminary step for more scalable validators. Okay, so now so this is the next testnet. So it's a pretty big release. We're pretty excited and really officially. I mean, really the official web client framework is the main, and Oracle queries like two really big flagship features that we are shipping, and we really look forward to see what people are going to build on top of that. Starting with porting our awesome on-chain games to make them like completely trustless and reactive using the Linera framework. Okay, and so now after that, what's going to happen? So the next testnet, which I hope is not going to be like too long after the second one, to be honest. We're going to have a browser extension. So in the next iteration of the web apps of the Linera application, the Linera client is hosted. We like to say it's hosted in a web page, so you don't have to worry about installing anything. It's very convenient for demos. But now, when you want a security, you actually want to own, as a user, you want to own the wallet, the code of the Linera client. You want to install it yourself, not just download it from a web page that you just browsed. So this is going to be done by a browser extension, and then after that, we'll also connect wallets, and we'll finally have the fully secure experience here. With the Linera client running in a browser extension, connecting to your wallets. So right now, if you look at the demos, like the one we done last week, we just generated a temporary key for you, and we are signing stuff for you. And of course, that's not the proper way. We want to connect it with wallets. So that's going to be done with the next testnet, most likely, or perhaps before, but the next testnet in any case. We are going to ship event streams. So like it's a very interesting feature, also helping with the development of social graphs, for instance, social applications. You would like, as a user, you'd like to subscribe to the changes, to the status updates from the other users. And we actually support that natively in Linera, so making us an ideal application, an ideal framework to create decentralized social networks. But that's going to be easier after testnet 3. We've been working really hard on adding support for DVM, and I was very happy to officially announce it just a few weeks ago as an element of our official roadmap. And so this is where it's going to be shipped. So there's going to be a first version of the EVM support in testnet number 3. It's already working on the main branch to some extent. We're adding features like composability between EVM applications, Linera WASM applications. And so this is all going to be ready, at least in the initial version in testnet 3. Which will make Linera already an EVM chain and really demultiply, like exponentially multiply the kind of applications you can code on Linera. Our mindset here is that there are so much applications that are written for the EVM, in particular in DeFi. It could be a lot of code. People put a lot of efforts auditing Solidity. So paying for the security audits, and typically they don't want to port that to other frameworks. Even if we love Rust, I think it's a beautiful language, probably better than Solidity, to be honest. But when you have a huge code base in Solidity that has been already audited and is used in production, you don't want to change it. So we're going to support that use case. And people are going to be able to experiment very soon on the main branch and officially in the testnet number 3 in a couple of months. At the same time, we also want people to be able to connect a wallet that has an EVM address. And so that's why we are researching right now. And we think that's going to be part of the testnet number 3 as well. So ideally, you would have as a MetaMask user, you'll be able to connect to a Linera, the browser extension of Linera and the Linera application and be able to sign Linera blocks. So we're trying really to reduce the friction for new users. And it's going to be a very interesting piece of that. Okay, so and then on the core protocol, obviously, we still have lots of ideas to improve the scalability on the client side. To make the protocol better, like more upgradable. So that's just for us to be able to ship more modifications, including after mainnet. So we don't want things to be like impossible to upgrade forever. So there's going to be some preliminary step. We want to also, so that's a very interesting feature. So the chain as a service idea. So when we talk to other layer ones, for instance, like Sui, they see the differences between Linera, the things that we can do, for instance, like downloading data from a blob storage. And that creates an idea that there's a use case for hybrid applications where you have, you are already programming in Sui, but you want to do a piece of work, a piece of a task, in Linera. Maybe you want to download the blob from Walrus and you want to apply validation function. And so, but your app and maybe your users, they are mainly in Sui. And so basically we're saying, yeah, that's fine. What you're going to do is your user are going to create a transaction in Sui. And through a native bridge, potentially in the future, and through this feature here, the chain as a service idea, we're going to be able to create a microchain in Linera directly. So the idea is to be able to create chains very easily, including from external systems, so that people can quickly be onboarded and use Linera for a specific task in the context of a hybrid application. And then, of course, yes, on the infrastructure side, so testnet 3, we're going to really, expect some announcement before that, but we are going to make a high TPS a really big priority and roll out some configuration and guidelines for validators to be able to really max out the TPS in testnet. And then also we are going to roll out some indexers, some indexing framework and work with partners to provide block explorers. We also want to archive our blocks. So there's going to be a first version of that, hopefully for testnet 3. So yeah, we don't have a global block explorer right now in Linera, which is perhaps surprising, but it's also a consequence of the fact that we don't rely on block indexing for most applications. Block indexing is not in a critical path. So we are able to make all those games and demos and all the cool applications without any RPC provider, But of course, at some point, you also want to be able to browse the blocks, and that's going to be made possible by this feature that we've started working on and is going to be ready in testnet number 3. All right, okay, almost there. Testnet number 4, that's the one just before mainnet. So obviously the roadmap is going to be made more precise, but we want to stabilize EVM, want to stabilize perhaps the notion of scripts to combine operation. Make the blocks a little more expressible. Upgradability for applications was one topic that I thought could also go there. And then on the core protocol side, finalizing governance, just getting ready for mainnet, probably some security audits, at least starting them, and then mainnet. So after mainnet, there's going to be a long tail, of course, of improvements on the infrastructure, on the core protocol, adding some auditing protocols, improving performance. We just look forward to be there, honestly, to being there and improving the protocol. We have a design that supports dynamic sharding, so we can have like full elastic validators. We can have geographically sharded validators, meaning that we could ask our validators to be present in a number of continents to make sure that latency is minimal for all users. And the idea is that, for instance, if I transfer assets, I'm in New York, and I'm transferring assets or interacting with an auction system that is also in New York, like for which the users are also in New York. Well, what we would say is tell the Linera validators, hey, why don't, if you have a data center in New York, all of you, then for that kind of interaction, all the networking stays in New York. And so suddenly you got this super low latency, and combined with the design of Linera that is already low latency, you can really break the records. So really excited about this design, and it's kind of already there. Basically, it's we just need to do it. Okay, and native bridges, support for more cloud vendors. Continuing the roadmap, native bridges. So, for instance, with selected chains, we'd like to have a way to receive messages and send them messages. So receive assets and assets. So that's going to happen probably after mainnet. Who knows? We'll see. And it's going to be a big deal for interoperating. This concept of hybrid applications that I was describing relies on that kind of native bridge, which in our case are going to be also very low latency as a part of our design, as a consequence of our design. Okay, so that was a long overview of the roadmap, and congrats if you made it so far. I can take questions now.
Yeah,
let's see one.
Let me throw questions at you, Matthew.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so the first question I think always on everybody's mind is when is TGE or the mainnet launch? Do you have a response for people at this stage?
So look, we working really hard to make it happen this year, but you know how it is, and I really mean it, but of course everything can happen. So just take that with a grain of salt. That's all.
Hopefully 2025. All right. The next question is about the stage that we are in right now. So you just went through essentially 4 different stages of testnet, 4 different testnet versions before mainnet. And I think so people want to explain to where are we right this minute in this process, and what is public or private as well? People kind of want to understand, like, is this a public testnet? You began to explain this a little bit in terms of kind of the front end system, and
right.
You mind just going over that again for everybody?
So, I mean, we are already in testnet 1, and it's already public in the sense that anybody can develop and on it. There's a file set. You can just ask your tokens. You can deploy applications. We haven't. I think what people ask about is that we haven't really released incentives and incentivized applications to bring a lot of traffic yet to this testnet. So, and that's something we definitely we're definitely excited about and want to do with the number 2 Babbage that's going to be released soon, very soon.
So I hope that helps to explain things. So we're in Archimedes, we're in testnet version 1. You as a developer can build on this testnet, and we already have applications that are being built on the testnet. We actually play those testnet applications on our Games on Microchains tournaments every single Friday. But you don't have your own personal testnet wallet at this stage, right? We're just kind of playing the applications in a global sense. And in the future, you will have a testnet wallet, and we will kind of incentivize behavior on the testnet. That's going to be happening either in testnet number 2 Babbage or testnet number 3 C something. So those things are coming. Here's another question from Noob. Can you have LLMs write Linera applications?
I suppose they are so you can write linear applications in Rust in particular, and we use our SDK is written in pure, is like very idiomatic Rust, like very pure Rust. There's not a lot of macros that are specific to Linera or anything like that. So I would like to think that an LLM could do a good job writing at the very least, the scaffolding of a linear application, given a number of examples like we have in our repository. And please show us, how you do it. Like make us dream and send us some demos. I heard Claude is good. I'm not using coding assistant myself. I guess when I code when I find the time to code, I want to feel the whole thing, the whole experience of coding. I don't want AI to help me, but be our guests. I think maybe some team members may have tried it. So, but we, I haven't tried myself.
We'll have Christos on at some point. He can talk more about that question.
And that was the question was really about writing linear apps using LLMs, okay? Because of course, we looked at LLMs in the context of Linera for other things. So like, for instance, can you manage your wallet using an LLM? And there's a demo of that that we tweeted about, where there's a cool video by Christos where he shows how you can connect an agent essentially to a Linera service and start asking things like, can I transfer this? Can I do this and this?
Yeah, we maybe we'll have a future developer workshop that's specifically about like AI and Linera and show some of those web apps and kind of some of the experimentation that we've been doing. We have a question about being a validator. This comes up a lot of times. When can we run Node on Windows PC? Can you please explain kind of what does it mean to become a validator on Linera, and what does it mean to run a node?
Okay, so one of the what we like about Linera is that we can have as many microchains as we want, and they all have the same performance guarantees, the same guarantees of security. They can easily talk to each other, like exchange messages, share data. All of that comes from the fact that we have a single set of validators for all the macrochains. So what it means is that validators in Linera, the design is that they have to be elastic. So right now you can run them on a few machines, but down the road you may need a data center. So Linera is going to essentially rely on this kind of like professional validators, but you can still have a lot of them. Currently we have 25, so maybe you go to 50, 100, and then to make sure that the public can hold validators accountable, we will have down the road, probably after mainnet, a protocol to continuously audit the blocks run by the community itself. And so there will be an auditor role, and I really would like that role to be incentivized down the road, but we have to build the whole thing before. So be patient. There will be a sort of permissionless auditing protocol that everybody can join, maybe make some rewards out of it down the road. And there will be no hardware requirement for that, as opposed to validators where the hardware requirement is going to be, in fact, stricter and stricter as the infrastructure grows.
Yep. Great. Well, I think we've been through all the other questions. James, do you have anything to add in? Anything that you've been working on that you want to share about since last week's conversation?
No, I kind of wanted to tag on to the end of that question, though. So if you want to run the client on a Windows PC at the moment, I think it should be perfectly possible to do with Windows Subsystem for Linux. I haven't tried it personally, but I'd be really keen to see how you get on. I can't imagine too many problems. Worth a try.
Very cool. So that pretty much concludes what we wanted to go over today. We wanted to go over the roadmap, the technical roadmap, take you through all the different versions of the testnet, where we are right now and where we're going. So hopefully that was a really helpful overview. Matthew, thank you so much for walking us through that. That's the first time we've actually publicly shared that information.
I know.
Yeah, so pretty cool that we.
And there will be some adjustments. You know, like the testnet is not meant. The roadmap obviously is meant to be adjusted along the way. But that was the initial version. I thought that was a good time to communicate about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So jump on Discord in our dev chat. Get the developer role by going to Guild, and then jump in and share what it is that you're building. If you have questions, we have community builders or the Linera engineers who are here to help you. Today's session, we moved up an hour to try to make it more convenient for people who are in Asia. So please give us feedback about this time. Do you like the time of this developer workshop better than when we did it last week, an hour later? We want to hear from you. And yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll post in advance what we're going to be talking about. But Matthew, James, just thank you guys so much for being here, for sharing your insights. And we're hearing some helpful feedback already from the community about it. This was helpful, so we appreciated your time. And have a great day.
Bye. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, James. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
I don't